Welcome back to the channel, aviation enthusiasts. If you're new here, I'm Mike Barnett, and on this channel, we dive deep into the most fascinating stories from the world of aviation, both past and present. If you love aviation history, cutting-edge technology, and exclusive content, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell icon so you never miss an upload. Today, we're exploring one of the most mysterious and ambitious projects of the Cold War era, Avrocanada's Project 1794, better known as the VZ-9AV Avrocar. Ever wondered if the United States military actually built a flying saucer? This ambitious flying saucer was meant to be the future of aviation, blending science fiction with cutting-edge technology. So, what exactly was this strange machine, and why did it never quite take off? Let's find out. In the 1950s, the Cold War was at its height, and the United States was on a relentless pursuit to stay ahead of the Soviet Union in every way possible, especially in aviation technology. During this period, Avrocanada, a prominent aircraft manufacturer, began working on a secret project for the US Air Force. The idea was simple but ambitious: build a disc-shaped aircraft that could hover, reach high altitudes, and travel at supersonic speeds. This project was named Project 1794, and the final result was the VZ-9AV Avrocar, a disc-shaped vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. It looked like something straight out of a science fiction movie, but it was very real. The aim? To create an aircraft that could serve as a high-speed interceptor, capable of taking off without runways and operating in almost any terrain. The Avrocar was designed to operate using a unique propulsion system, a large central fan that would generate thrust, allowing the craft to lift off vertically, hover, and fly forward. This was a technology that combined elements of a helicopter and a jet. The engineers hoped that the saucer shape would provide stability and lift, while the central fan would allow it to achieve speeds up to 300 miles per hour and altitudes of up to 10,000 feet. The heart of the Avrocar was its turbo rotor, a system designed to direct thrust downwards for vertical lift, and then transition to horizontal flight by redirecting the thrust. In theory, this would allow the Avrocar to function like a flying saucer, zipping across the sky with impressive maneuverability. But as with many ambitious projects, the Avrocar faced significant challenges. Testing began in the late 1950s, and it quickly became apparent that the technology wasn't quite there yet. The Avrocar struggled with stability issues, often wobbling uncontrollably during hover. This phenomenon, known as hubcapping, made it nearly impossible for the craft to maintain a steady altitude. At low altitudes, the Avrocar could only hover a few feet off the ground, and it was plagued by issues like overheating and insufficient thrust. The promised altitude of 10,000 feet was never reached. In fact, the Avrocar could barely get off the ground. The technology of the time simply couldn't overcome the aerodynamic limitations of the saucer design. So why was the US military so interested in a flying saucer? During the Cold War, the Air Force was looking for innovative ways to counter potential Soviet threats. A vehicle like the Avrocar, which could take off vertically and reach high speeds, would have been perfect for rapid response missions and reconnaissance. The Avrocar was intended to be a versatile military asset, capable of operating without runways, flying low to avoid radar detection, and performing both reconnaissance and combat missions. In theory, it could have been deployed to remote locations, providing a significant tactical advantage. Unfortunately, by 1961, it became clear that the Avrocar simply wasn't viable as a military aircraft. The US Air Force and Army had invested millions of dollars into the project, but the results were underwhelming. The Avrocar couldn't achieve the necessary altitude, speed, or stability to be an effective combat vehicle. In the end, Project 1794 was cancelled, and the dream of a flying saucer was shelved. Though the Avrocar itself never made it to operational status, it wasn't a complete failure. The project provided valuable insights into vertical takeoff and landing technologies, which would later be applied to other aircraft designs. The concept of a flying saucer may have been ahead of its time, but the lessons learned paved the way for advancements in VTOL, vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, like the Harrier jump jet and modern drones. While the Avrocar itself never saw combat, its legacy lives on in modern aviation. The concept of a versatile, all-terrain aircraft capable of rapid deployment has become a reality in various forms. The Harrier, the F-35B, and even certain drone technologies all owe a little something to the experimental work done by Avro Canada and their Flying Saucer project. Interestingly, the Avrocar also played a role in shaping popular culture. The idea of a military flying saucer fed into the UFO craze of the 1950s and 60s, and to this day, some conspiracy theorists point to the Avrocar as proof that the government was hiding advanced flying technology. While the truth is a bit less sensational, there's no denying that Project 1794 captured the imagination of a generation. Today, you can see the remains of the Avrocar in museums, a relic of a bygone era when the sky was truly the limit and even the wildest ideas seemed possible. It stands as a testament to the ambition and creativity of Cold War engineers, proof that sometimes you have to dream big, even if the results don't quite match the vision. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the strangest aircraft projects in history, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about the Avrocar? Was it a bold leap into the future, or just a misguided dream? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep those wings level.